Hello and welcome to That Shooting Show. My name is Steve Anderson. I am your humble host. We are on a very special part two of a multi-part series, and that is how quickly can a new shooter get to master class? But got to do some housekeeping first. Number one, Walther is the finest production firearm of its kind. Once you try one, you'll be convinced, and if you don't like it, they'll give you your money back. Targets USA is the finest. The AMG-lab.com Commanderson Timer is the finest. Hunter's HD Gold is the only eyewear that I wear. I am unaware of any other eyewear that I ever wear. Pretty awesome. ShootingSportsInnovations.com and OutdoorDynamics.net remanufactures the finest competition ammunition you can get. Okay, so we're booking now, obviously, for 2026. What I need you guys to do, if you want to do a class, all we have to do is find a range and pick a date. What is happening right now is I'm giving out dates, and people are like, "Oh, let me get back to you," and then inevitably everybody wants the same date. Okay. So if you want to do a class for free, it's very, very simple. All you have to do is find a range that has USPSA or IDPA type props. Talk to the match director, say, "Hey, I want to bring out Anderson, and let's pick a date and let's get it done." It's very, very, very easy to do. I have all the insurance. All we need to do is find a range and pick a date. Class sponsor gets the class for free. And you get access to me for like all the time that you want. Like what could be better than that? And if you want to do a class with Kita, those details are a little bit different, but reach out to either one of us, either Steve at andersonshooting.com or 180 firearms training at gmail.com for Kita. And we are back, of course, with Matt Pittman. How's it going, Matt?
And it is going great.
I got to tell you, we were talking offline about that gorgeous sweatshirt that your wife, well, I'm sorry, hoodie that your wife arranged for you.
Yes, she
And
surprised me with it. Complete branding. She knows how dedicated I am and how much it means to be supported. And so she surprised me with this for an early Valentine's Day gift, Pit Factor logo, and just fell in love. We've tweaked it a little bit, so it's not the stock Beretta situation we got going
it's
on.
always a Beretta.
Yeah.
Always. Always. That is a Beretta. I hate to tell you, Matt, that's a
Mhm.
Beretta.
Hey, hey, you're right. And I don't shoot Beretta. Although JJ Regazza's, I mean, you watch a little bit of that goodness, you might switch over.
Do you know that JJ puts the safety on every time he does a reload?
Oh wow.
Can you imagine that?
That guy is a beast.
Well, he's been in the sport a very, very, very long time, and I don't know, but obviously there must have been some sort of safety concern because he's been shooting since he was like four.
Hmm.
In the Philippines, they actually give you guns in the maternity ward. They go and put the guns in the baby's little baby buggies. Right, they just put the guns right in there.
I believe
Um,
that with him for sure.
but yeah, he actually puts the safety on every time. It's really cool. And that's just an example of a subconscious skill.
Hmm.
He obviously he's not aware of doing it. So how long has it been since we spoke?
I want to say three, maybe at least 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay. What has happened in those 3 weeks? Have you made Grandmaster yet?
Yes, actually, whatever the next one is, that one. No, I have not, but I have made definitely positive, amazing steps towards that. And I mean, really taking the principles and the notes that you provided in our last session, executing those ideas primarily from stage planning, subconscious stage, two biggest wins over the last 3 weeks. Subconscious stage planning, and then emptying my mind as I'm waiting for the beep.
Okay.
And so I think of a really happy thought that has nothing to do with shooting, and
Okay.
100% of the time I perform way better. 60% of the time it works every time, right? Like so it has been an awesome mental shift for sure.
Good. So let's talk about those two things separately. Okay. Number one, let's talk about the subconscious stage plan. None of the things that I talk about are going to work without a subconscious stage plan.
Mm.
And you're pretty new in the sport.
Yes.
Have you heard that from anybody but me?
For subconscious stage planning,
Yeah.
I've heard stage planning, stage planning, stage planning. The way that you specifically identify what you should do within that subconscious stage planning, no, I've not heard that.
Okay. So I want to tell everybody, Keita Bussey and I, we just did a podcast a little while ago, The 11 Commandments of Stage Planning. People spend way too, see, what you're talking about is stage deciding,
Mm,
and they spend way too much time. And then they want to complain they don't have enough time. And what I hear is, I can't make a decision and I don't have enough time to not make a decision. And I'm thinking, why don't you make a decision? And I also have this new service called Red Carpet Coaching, where I make myself available pretty much unlimited. You're kind of enjoying it, but not to the same extent.
hmm
Um, and one of my clients, we were talking the other day, we talk almost daily, well, daily, and he said, it's so weird. I made this most amazing discovery. I set up a stage in Dry Fire and I ran it 4 different ways, and my time was the same every time. And the conclusion is it doesn't really matter. And I'm
hmm
like, yeah, it doesn't really matter. But shooters are stove touchers, right? They have to touch the stove. And
hmm
everybody thinks their situation is different and unique. And yes, you are different and unique. And I know your mother loves you, but you're not that different and you're not that unique.
Yeah.
Okay. Your mental game problems are the same. The solutions to all of your problems are the exact same. Okay. Now, subconscious stage plan means I know the route to the grocery store, which means I can sing along to my favorite song.
Yes.
Right. I know the route to the grocery store, so I can talk on the phone. Okay. But if there's a detour, takes me a part of town I've never been to before, I can no longer sing along to my favorite song and I can no longer talk on the phone uninterrupted. Okay.
hmm
And people, it's so funny. You get all these people. We had a guy at the match in Georgia I was just at. Oh, and by the way, I'm available for match mode coaching as well, which is so much fun. This guy looked like a 70-year-old Beavis from Beavis and Butthead. And once I saw the pompadour and the
Yeah.
jaw, I couldn't unsee this, you know?
hmm
And I don't know if I'm going to regret saying this on a national podcast or not. Maybe he won't know who he was. I don't know. But my point is, you've got people from all walks of life,
hmm
okay? Blue collar, white collar, engineers, investment bankers, and they're all doing the same thing. They've all got their little miniature air gun, and they're all walking around the stage, all exaggerated. They don't know that what they're supposed to be doing is creating a subconscious stage plan.
It's so extremely efficient. I mean, it's insanely efficient until you turn that concept into executable actions on my end. So now I walk through the stage. I make sure I'm familiar with the stage. I see what guys that are way more advanced than me, what they're thinking and talking through. And then I say, okay, this is the route I'm going to choose. Once I do that, you go to the back of the stage and you close your eyes and you work through it. And for me, once I get to a place where I can't remember the exact next target, then I open my eyes and say, oh, it's over there. And then go back to the start and run through it again until I don't have that hiccup. Once that hiccup does not happen, I mean, it's like lightning.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because, people tell, I don't know, memorization has to be a skill that can be practiced. Um, and I think some people are inherently better at it than others, maybe because of their occupation. I don't really know, but what you described is brilliant. If you're walking the stage, what I tell people to do is when the conga line jams up, close your eyes, pardon me, and predict what's next.
Mm,
And if you can't predict what's next, open your eyes. That's cool. And then close your eyes and predict what next. Next time the conga line jams up, close your eyes, predict what's next. Okay. Keita and I had an argument. Our arguments are hilarious, by the way. We bicker like two people on the front porch of the nursing home. She doesn't believe that the round count belongs in the visualization. I do. I think
mm,
the round count absolutely belongs in the visualization, especially if we have a history of FTSA.
mm.
Um, that happens to everybody. And that is an imprint that stays with people for a very long time. Okay. Once you've had it, and if you've had two, that becomes who you are and what you do. And
Mm.
so putting the round count in the visualization guarantees that you won't have a double engagement or an FTSA. So, and I think 20 is the right number. And
Mhm.
I don't think most people are getting to 20. And
It's hard. Yeah, getting to 20 is very challenging.
and you also have to control the imprints. Did we talk about that?
Yes, slightly.
Okay. So as you are thinking about your stage plan, you're sending imprints from the conscious mind to the self-image. Okay.
Hmm.
That opinion is going to be sent. You can't stop it. What you can do is control it. So that opinion says, this is what I'm going to do, and I know that I can do it.
Hmm.
Or this looks like fun. What it can't be is that's a fast swinger and I'm scared. It can't be I'm
Yeah.
not very good at table starts. It can't be ooh, the ground is slippery. Okay?
Hmm.
Because everybody shoots better when they like the stage and like their plan. And if we love the stage and love the plan, that's when we shoot really good. Well,
Yes.
all those are just opinions.
Hmm.
That's all they are. Okay? And you talked about a an occupation for your conscious mind.
Mm.
What are you using for an occupation for your conscious mind?
I don't know.
Well, you said you pick a happy thought that's unrelated to
Oh,
shooting.
I got you. Yeah. So yeah, I think of something completely. So and that goes into, I mean, that's such a deep, that principle is so deep. And I say that because when especially as a new shooter, and I'm sure senior shooters probably still go through this same mental awareness. But if I'm thinking about how I'm about to need to execute, the faster I screw up.
Yes.
And instead of relying on, hey, you just spent an entire week before a match, say there's a gap of a week between a match, you just spent an entire week dry fire training. You know what to do. So why are you thinking about how to do that better right now?
Hmm.
And so I've learned through that mindset and experience of saying, I don't need to think about this. Everything I'm about to execute is what I've been trained on, not what I need to be mentally going through what needs to execute now. And
Right.
so when I shift to, and I just think of a beautiful memory over the summer down at the beach. That's what I think about. And I then as soon as I hear the buzzer, I just go, okay, time to hit the go button. Let's go.
Good. So what we're talking about is an occupation for the conscious mind. Now, here's what may be confusing for people listening to this program. Number one, it doesn't matter what it is. Okay. And number two, it's actually a little bit better if it doesn't relate to shooting potentially, but it's harder to trust.
Mm,
Okay. If you were first shooter, stage one at nationals, first nationals, you might not trust your favorite summer memory.
hmm.
And it might be hard to sort of, what's what I'm looking for, focus on that memory. Did I tell you about the blueberry muffin?
No.
Okay, I love this story. So my good buddy in Alaska, if you're in the Alaska area, then you know I'm talking about Micah. Micah's a brilliant man. He is a financial advisor to financial advisors. Okay. He's constantly playing 4D chess. Brilliant man. Okay. But he's having the same. Remember, I told you, you're not different. You're not special. Everybody's the same. Okay.
Yeah.
So he likes blueberry muffins. And I said, Micah, what I want you to do is right before you shoot, think about how great that blueberry muffin's going to be, but you only get to eat it if you have a good run. He goes, awesome. So he shoots, pew, 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 come up stage, thumbs up, blueberry muffin, baby.
Heck
Okay.
yeah.
Perfect. But he gets to the state match, he doesn't trust it.
Mm,
And so as a result, subconscious skill are becoming conscious thoughts.
mm.
Okay. And everybody knows this. If you get in front of a really close target and you order up a really fast draw, you are going to miss your grip.
Yeah. Yes.
But if you get in front of a really close target and you know it's going to be a great draw, and you just look at a spot on the target, or your summer memory, or your blueberry muffin, or whatever it is, you're going to get the skill as it currently resides in your subconscious.
Mm,
Okay. And if you've been dry firing for a fast draw, you're going to get a fast draw.
yes.
And the speed of that draw and the speed of the first shot is only limited by the target size and difficulty. Okay. So that's great. So subconscious stage plan, singular focus for the conscious mind. You know
Yes.
what you just figured out?
What's that?
You figured out what took me 20 years to figure out.
I didn't figure out. You told me.
You got it in 20 days.
Bring it. Let's go.
Okay. So in the early days of the Brian Enos forums, okay, it was so funny. Because when you get obsessed and your wife's making you Beretta sweatshirts, even though you don't even shoot a Beretta, this is the funniest time because you're investing all your time in shooting. Okay.
Yes.
And I somehow found the Brian Eno shooting forums. And I think at the time there were maybe 1,000 members. I mean, it was tiny, really, really small. Everybody was super respectful, and we were all there for the same reasons. Okay. And I was talking about this steel challenge match I'd gone to, and this guy was also talking about a steel challenge match he'd gone to, and we were like, I think we went to the same match. Okay. So that's how me and this guy, Kyle Ferris, who's Flex Money on the Enos forums, and he might still be active. The problem is that forum has got to like 40,000 members, and now it's not what it was, right? It's now kind of fuddy when it never was before. But here's my point.
Okay.
In these early days, we were the monkey sitting on the stump, holding the skull, scratching our chins, and we were pondering what is the secret.
Hmm.
Okay. And Brian would pop in every now and then and give us some breadcrumbs. But Brian Enos presented everything through this lens of Zen. And I sort of kind of rejected the Zen because, when somebody says flow like the water into the tree, come on, man. What are
It
we even
immediately makes
doing?
you think of Happy Gilmore with that dude, like, wow, where's your energy? Where's your positive energy? All this, that guy.
Those are not executable tasks. Okay.
Yeah.
But after 20 years of research, the secret subconscious stage plan, singular focus. That's it.
Well, that's
That's
proven to be extremely successful. I mean, just in adopting that, and it takes work. I think, and I say that like it's obvious, right? Like that it takes work, but it takes work on a different level. It takes work on a level that you have to consciously make the decision that yes, you're not just loading your rounds, you're not just BSing with your buddies. You need to get a minute to go through the stage and then say, okay, here's what I think is a good stage plan. Very clearly, most people at matches aren't going to be the fastest shooter. So what if when in your squad, who's the most senior shooter? Okay, are they doing something like what you're planning? Yes, then you've got a good stage plan. Are you about to commit to your subconscious memory a stage plan that maybe is different from theirs? Okay, you might need to rethink your stage plan because they're the pros. Maybe emulate their stage plan.
and that needs to happen very, very early.
Hmm.
And I have never met a single shooter who will not show you their stage plan
Hmm.
because stage plan is kind of like grandkids. People love to talk about it. They just cannot wait. And if you show some respect, they'll be all over it. But you got to be so respectful.
Yes.
Okay. And you'll get a vibe right away. If they're not talking to anybody, then just leave them alone.
Yeah.
But if they are talking, say, hey, look, I'm pretty new. You're one of the best shooters here. Would you please tell me what you're doing and why? The why is critical.
Hmm.
Okay. Because the what helps you on stage one, the why helps you on the other stages.
Hmm.
And understand there are no universal truths in stage planning except reduce the amount of time spent not shooting and go to confidence.
Hmm.
And the more trouble you're having deciding, the less it matters.
Hmm.
Please remember that. If you're splitting hairs over doing something, that means it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Okay. How many matches do you think you've shot so far?
Oh, I think I've got another one Saturday. I think that's 12 total.
12 under your belt. That's great. And
Yeah,
you are
12.
classified currently where?
I'll be, I think, right at about 70, 71.
High B.
IB. Yeah. So I'm feeling good.
That's phenomenal. So I have to do a little commercial. I don't know if this applies to you or not. Is this the
Sure.
right commercial for you?
I
Is this the right commercial for you? Have you been using
think
it?
it's the right commercial.
Okay. All right. So for those of you for those of you that don't know, this book is 20, I think it's 22 years old. This book might be older than you. Oh, you're probably older than 22.
Yeah, I'm 43, brother.
Oh, okay. You just don't look it because you're wearing a Beretta on your sweatshirt.
That's it. The bread keeps me JJ Urkaza young.
That's right. Prevents you from aging just like it does for JJ.
That's it.
Um, so I wrote this book 22 years ago, Refinement Repetition. It's also known as Steve Anderson's Dry Fire book. Sometimes it's known as the Dry Fire book. But I went from A-class production to open Grandmaster in about 9 months.
Mm,
And when I got done, I was the first Grandmaster in Ohio. Um, and at that time, it was thought that only professional shooters could be grandmasters because unless you had unlimited range time and unlimited ammo, then it couldn't be done. And I was like, well, let's see. I'm a guitar player and I can do Joe Satriani things. And I'm pretty sure grandmasters are human beings and I can do some Eddie Van Halen things. And do you know who Yngwie Malmsteen is?
No.
You don't know. Oh, so I can do some Yngwie Malmsteen things. And so I'm pretty sure I can do some grandmaster things. And so I did. And then everybody said, well, how in the world did you do it? And I said, well, I got these 12 drills. And the first 12 drills is what made me a grandmaster, but you have to do them for 2 to 5 minutes a day at or below your current par times. And how much dry fire are you doing?
I'm doing about an hour a day.
Perfect.
But so Saturday I had a massive, it was the battlegrounds of all battlegrounds to execute this new concept that you've educated into me
Okay.
with some really outside of trainable concept functions. And I did a video about it earlier this week. There was some just changing up ammo before match, you know, doing stuff like that that can really throw you for a loop. And I had the first stage that I had 5 malfunctions, which I'm super proud of. I handled them very well. Still had 33 alphas, two Charlies and one Mike. For 5 malfunctions, I'm super pumped on that. But
Hmm.
the point I was trying to make is that that was a struggle, and then so I took from Saturday until my match on Wednesday off. I didn't touch a gun, I didn't think about a gun, I didn't do anything, and then I came into Wednesday's match and I executed the best I have ever executed. So I took a mental break, and then I went back into it, and it was just so refreshing.
Okay. The malfunctions, do we know the cause?
Yes.
What was the cause?
Ammo. It
Oh,
was it was a different ammo that was suggested for me to use by a different ammo company local,
okay.
and it just didn't cycle well within my gun. And I should have never tried it within a match. I should have done that in training.
Never. Yeah, never, ever, never, ever, ever. Although I did witness JJ Rakaza using brand new magazines for the first time at Nationals,
Oh
and he
wow.
couldn't get them out of the gun. So it does happen, right?
Okay.
But let's not do that ever again.
No.
Let's never do. Oh, his dad was so mad. His
Oh, I
dad was,
bet.
yeah, because his dad's his coach. And JJ's like, I can't get these brand new magazines. It might have been a new gun too. It might have been a
Oh
new
no.
gun and new mags.
At
Um,
Nationals.
but
Oof.
you know, there might have been some sponsorship obligations there. Who knows? But
Sure.
the bottom line is these things happen.
Hmm.
Okay, and taking a break was probably wise. But we have to separate mental problems from technical problems. Okay.
Hmm.
And we got to understand that they can't solve each other, right? Meaning if a guy's dry firing really hard and he goes to the match, he's got a bunch of mics at 7 yards. Does he need to practice shooting alphas at 7 yards?
No.
That's a mental problem.
Yeah.
Okay. He needs to choose to shoot alphas at 7 yards.
Hmm.
Okay. But people, they get it backwards. They want to shoot perfectly in training because it makes them feel good. And then they want to go fast at the match.
Hmm.
I want them to switch that around. I want you to go fast in training and then shoot the speed of sight in competition.
Hmm.
And it's really interesting because have you experienced a really great run feeling kind of slow?
Yes.
But that can't be duplicated by going slow,
Right.
right? And that feeling that is caused by a subconscious performance. So when you have that time slowing down thing,
Hmm.
that's I think it's called tachypsychia. I'm sure I butchered that pronunciation, but it's very
Right.
similar to that. And it's because your mind can't measure time while it's occupied. It's like if your wife buys you, or if you buy your wife furniture from IKEA and you go to put it together before dinner, you don't know if that's 3 hours or 30 minutes. All we know is it's not done yet, right?
Yeah.
So that is what happens when you have a subconscious performance. Now, have you been able to get into that pretty reliably?
This Wednesday night,
Mhm.
last match I went, yes, I did that every single stage.
And you got that sensation every single stage.
Yes, and I finished there was 20 shooters, I think, and I finished third overall.
That's great.
And then there was another guy that has been working with me from day one for training who's a master in carry optics. And there was one stage that I beat him. He won overall, and I beat him by over 4% on a stage. And so I'm like, it was just a really big confidence boost.
Good. And did we talk about the journal yet?
We did talk about the journal, and I have found that to be extremely challenging to do during a match day.
Well, you don't do it during the match. You do it when the match is over.
Copy that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You now, if you have a breakthrough or a break and or breakthrough, you can write something down, but
Okay.
it's designed for when the match is over, not during the match.
Okay.
And did I send you the notes on how to do it?
No, I've not seen those yet.
Okay. So let's go through this real quick.
Okay.
Um, pardon me 1 second. Let me pull these up. This will be a good. I will send you the notes and we'll just kind of go over it here. All right. Can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay. And this is the page I sent you, right?
No, I haven't seen this yet.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is the journal that we teach in mental management. You've got your event, your location, conditions are weather conditions, and the objective can be filled out ahead of time, and it's always an objective within your control. So did you
Right.
have an objective that was within your control?
Yes.
What was it?
That was visual patience and my subconscious pre-beep stage plan.
Perfect. Okay. So you want to avoid an outcome-based objective because it's never within your control. If there's an outcome you want, like if you're really close to A class and you're going to a classifier match and you really want to make A class, I get that, and you're not going to be able to turn that off.
Hmm.
So what you do there is objective, graduate to A class by doing X, X, and X. So
Okay.
you take the result you want and turn it into a process within your control. Okay. It's fine to want a result and it's fine to think about a result until the
Hmm.
competition starts. And then it's got to be a process within your control. Okay.
Okay.
Now, as you understood your mental system, your mental game, what percentage of time did you get it right?
100% of the time.
Awesome. And technical system refers to how often did you get access to your current level of skill?
I just basing off this last match, 100% of the stages, I got 100% of my current ability.
So 20 days into your journey, you have figured out how to have a 100% mental game and a 100% technical game. Okay.
Yes.
We have saved you. You need to give Jim Palmer a case of Miller Lite and maybe a new boat and a truck to pull it.
Let's
Okay.
go.
So he can put some speed on it. We have
Put some
saved
speed
you
on it.
potentially 5 to 10 years of screwing around.
I love that.
Okay. Now, what you have to understand is it's never going to change.
Hmm.
Okay. You're going to be tempted at times to put some speed on it.
Yes.
That's when it quits working.
Well, I've experienced that. I think it was 2 weeks ago. I had, a lot of the indoor matches, you're running from left to right, then right to left, right? And so one direction, starting from the left side, I crushed it and I was in the top two, three for that stage. Then starting from the right side to the left, I was like, oh, I can go really fast. And I saw what this guy did, and I want to beat his time. And I know I can do that. So all I'm thinking is speed, completely dumped the stage. It was
Mhm.
horrible.
So that's a great thing to learn. Okay. And so what you write about that is in this next section, what I did and what I learned, you don't reference the bad one.
Mm,
You address the bad one with the good one.
mm,
Okay. So what that looks like is you take the first one where you did really well and you say, when I X, 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 and X, I do great.
mm-hmm,
Okay. So you reference the bad one by how good the great one was. So people think this is a diary. This is not a diary.
mm-hmm.
This is your greatest hits.
I love
Okay.
it.
And you ignore, and people don't like this, you ignore the bad ones.
Well, and so that is such, saying that is so easy to say, but that is such a challenging mental game to slide into. And I say that because for me, I'm an analytical person. I think about, so if there's a problem, I think, how do I solve that problem? So I go through the
Mhm.
problem to solve the problem. In this
Yes,
mindset that you're educating me on is that the problem doesn't exist. Why are you thinking about the problem? If you continue to think of that about that problem, you're going to recreate that problem.
correct.
So in my mind, I'm like, okay, so how do you do this successfully? You acknowledge from and this, and I'm going to just say from my mental awareness of what you've educated to this point, you acknowledge that a problem existed, and then you acknowledge what you didn't do in your known abilities to not have that happen again.
The problem is useful in order to create the solution.
Hmm,
Once the solution is identified, the problem is no longer useful.
I love that.
Okay. Because I'm trying to think where in life this might be a little different. Again, your business card for your production company doesn't have YouTube links of your worst videos,
No.
right? When you screwed the pooch, you fixed it.
Yes.
And you probably don't talk about it ever again. Now, if
Yeah.
if you have an employee who is prone to making the same mistake, that might be, well, again, you want to talk about the solution.
Hmm.
You want to be like, hey, we talked about this and we agreed that the solution was to leave 30 minutes earlier, whatever the solution was. Okay.
Well,
But
not to cut you short there, but one what I want to say is that when that clicks, when that truly clicks, and you shift from not thinking about what you sucked at and how you cannot suck like that again, which is a very hard thing to not do, and you go into and it's just hard, especially as you're up and coming, and you go into, man, I crushed that stage. Let's focus on that stage. Let's write down the takeaways for the win on that stage. For me, psychologically, you shift into I am a superhuman and I can do superhuman things
Mhm.
versus, man, I suck. Why am I even picking up a gun today?
And when you write about them, you reinforce that idea. And I'm so glad you said superhuman. I think the issue is the duality of the scoring.
Mm,
Okay. Because it's points divided by time, we can always be upset if we're looking to be upset.
yes.
Okay. Your match is not your tombstone, it's a snapshot of where you are today.
Hmm.
And you don't have to be content for longer than 2 hours. But for the duration of the match, I need you to be content
Hmm.
with who you are and what you do. Let's go through this real quick so I can turn off screen sharing.
Sure.
Okay, this next section is only used if you have a chronic problem that you don't know how to solve.
Okay.
So most of the time, people's problems have solutions, they just don't like them.
I got you.
Okay, no matter what I do, I can't figure out how to find the dot, weak hand only. You might try some dry fire. No matter what I do, have you tried some dry fire? I don't want to dry fire. I want to find the dot. No matter what I do, I can't lose 15 pounds. Have you tried that exercise? I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
Human beings know the solution the vast majority of the time. They just don't like the solution.
Hmm.
Okay. And then I want you to tell me everything you did well at this last match, starting with the word today.
Nice.
Say it. Say it. Tell it.
Let's see. We'll go off of Wednesday because that's the most recent one.
Your best stage.
What's that now?
Your best stage. Today, I.
Today I went into a stage knowing that I was going to take a slight risk in my movement to advance my time and accepted that it was the fastest option. And if my ability slowed that option down, that's okay. It's okay. And I know what I'm going to do. I know that before I step up to make ready, I know exactly every single step I'm going to take to get to the end, showing clear and reholstering. And
Great.
so I know that, and then I know that I know that I can take certain targets in motion to blend from target to target to speed up time. And all I need to do in this is to just be visually patient to ensure that my dot's where it is as I move through the stage.
Good. Give me all that in 10 words or less. Today, I.
Today, I had a subconscious stage plan that I executed with excellence.
Awesome. Because you're not going to write all that down.
Yeah, no.
And but we do need enough detail so we can do it again. Okay.
Hmm.
Today, I beat a master class shooter by what did you do?
Uh, I didn't think about it.
Oh, that's what you didn't do.
Oh,
What
what?
did you do?
What did I
See,
do?
human beings can't execute negatives. And I learned why. I learned why. Okay, because so I'm writing my fourth book or fifth book, fourth or fifth, maybe sixth. I'm writing another book. Okay,
Mhm.
and I wanted to know why the brain doesn't process the don't. So I Googled why does the brain not hear the don't?
Mm.
And because the great thing about the internet is no matter what problem you've got or what kind of weird stuff you're into, you're not the only one, right? Somebody's
Mhm.
been there before. Okay. Um, the reason why is if I say don't break the window, your mind has to learn what breaking the window looks like before it can prohibit it. Isn't that fascinating?
Yes.
So if I say don't miss the steal, your brain cannot prohibit that action until it understands it. And to
Mm.
understand it, it has to picture it. But the picture remains.
Mm.
The cool thing is, if I say center punch the steel, your mind has to do the same thing in order to compel it. So it pictures center punching the steel precisely so it can compel it. Okay. And remind me to come back to the singular point of focus. Okay.
Okay.
So give me something else you did really well at that match starting with the word today.
Um, Today I went into the match with just no stress and focused on having fun.
Great. Great. If you read that before your next match, is that going to help you?
Yes,
Good.
100%, because I know what that feels like.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay. So what you want to do here is write big and fill up the whole page. I don't need 30 things. I need three important things. Okay. And use language that you like. If you're a potty mouth, write in potty mouth. If you're not, like I like the word excellence. Oh, here's the other thing. There are two kinds of shooters. One that wants to shoot well and finish well. The other has to win. Which one are
Mm.
you?
Shoot well and finish well.
Are you sure? You telling me the truth right now?
Currently, yes, that's for
Okay,
sure
good.
where I'm
So,
at.
but and it's fine. There are people who have to win, and that's great. Okay, why would you be in a sport if you don't want to win? You know,
Right.
I was also in that former category, as same as you, because I was raised by Christian music teachers,
Hmm.
and Christian music teachers they don't drink the blood of their enemies from the skulls of their women that are lamenting things. Like we don't do that. Okay, that's
You went Conan the Barbarian on us over here.
we're like hot chocolate and kumbaya.
Mhm.
Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. But
Yes.
but the neat thing, so number one, that upbringing may have kept me from being winning more national titles. I did win one national title.
Hmm.
May have kept me from winning more, but it made me a better educator.
Right.
But my best was always good enough. When I got home from whatever it was, man, if I sat on the bench during basketball, I rode the bench to the best of my ability, and that was good enough for my parents. I was
Hmm.
never made to feel like my best wasn't good enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Some people's parents did not do that, particularly in the Asian cultures.
Hmm.
Best is never good enough. And we think it's a good thing, and there might be some good artifacts of that mentality, but ultimately it damages self image. Okay.
Okay.
So, goal statement can take three forms: I am, I often, or I always.
Mm.
Okay. So, your I am is I am becoming a masterclass shooter.
Yes.
Okay. And sometimes people think that I want them to lie to themselves. I don't.
Hmm.
Lying to yourself will be a negative imprint and will not work. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the screen share so we can go back to our normal video. Um, Lying to yourself will not work because if you get up and say I'm a millionaire, your self-image goes, yeah, right.
Right.
Okay. But if you get up and say I'm getting better at managing money, that
Hmm.
will influence your behavior. Okay. So if you say I'm a grandmaster, you're not going to believe it. But if you
Hmm.
say I am becoming something, it buys time for your self-image to get used to this crazy idea.
Yes.
Okay. And then so that's your I am. The next one is I often, and you've got a great one. I often is used to make something abnormal more normal.
Mm.
Okay. Yours is I often beat masterclass shooters.
Mm.
when I X, X, and X, whatever the X's are.
Mhm.
Okay. So my all-time favorite I often is I had a revolver client beat Jerry Michalak in a revolver shoot-off.
Holy cow.
And right. And he went home. Imagine if it was you that did it. Look how
Oh,
great that makes you feel.
that
Right.
would be great. And it wasn't even me. That's insane.
He wrote, I often beat Jerry Michalak.
Mm,
And so now instead of seeing a revolver demigod, he sees an old man he can beat.
mm.
Right. And that's
Yeah.
not meant to be disrespectful to Jerry. I'm
No,
just
no.
saying that you only ever see two kinds of shooters. You see shooters you can beat and shooters that can beat you.
Hmm.
Right. And your mind does that like robots assessing targets. You can beat this one, you can't beat that one. Your job is to move them from one category to the other.
Yeah.
And I often is what does that. The I often says, hey, and so now when you see your buddy, it is not a foregone conclusion he's going to beat you.
Hmm.
But you have to know how you did it. Okay.
Hmm.
And you have to celebrate the process. You have to celebrate the swing, not the hole in one. The hole in one was the great result.
Yes.
But unless you're Adam Sandler, is this our second Adam Sandler reference on this?
There's a second Adam Sandler reference.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm coming out of the booth. Did you listen to his albums? Did you ever listen to his albums?
Yes. Yeah. It's like they're all gonna make fun of you.
He had a clip. The entire bit was the sound of him urinating for like 3 minutes. It
Yes.
shouldn't be funny, but you're just dying laughing,
The
right?
longer it goes, the harder you laugh.
Right. It's like we're such. I don't think girls enjoyed that. I think it was just the dudes.
Yeah.
But at any rate, unless you're Adam Sandler, the hole in one is not duplicable. The swing is duplicable. Okay. So in your case, you celebrate the process, not the victory. Or
Hmm.
you can celebrate the victory, but you got to come back to the process.
Yeah.
Because and don't ever call it luck or the other guy having a bad day.
Hmm. Well,
People
that
are
so that, I've never done the luck part, but the other guy's having a bad day. That has been something I've had to fight against. It's like, no, this is how they performed. This is how I performed.
right. If he had malfunctions, then that makes him an inferior competitor. Because with all due respect, not having malfunctions is part of being a good competitor.
Hmm.
Right? Good competitors don't bring stuff that doesn't work, you
Yeah.
know? And if he was having an off day mentally, well, good competitors don't do that.
Hmm.
So you don't have to believe you were a better shooter because that might be tough, but
Yeah.
you can believe you are a better competitor, and that's who wins.
Mm.
Okay. The best shooter doesn't win. The best competitor wins.
Mm.
Okay.
I
If
like
a
that.
if a great shooter rolls out of bed and goes to stage one without a good stage plan, he's still the best shooter, but he's not the best competitor. The best competitor is the one that wins. I can tell when I got smart because you start typing. Every time I get smart, you start typing.
Yeah.
So I am writing my new book, and I'm currently writing my new book with three fingers, maybe four. I can occasionally use this one,
Nice.
but it's very much this.
Nice. All
All right,
right.
we were going to talk about the occupation for the conscious mind.
Yeah, the
Okay,
singularity.
are you good on time?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. So the occupation for the conscious mind is fascinating. So we have conscious, subconscious, and self-image. Okay, those are the components. Conscious mind trains the subconscious and informs the self-image. Okay, self-image ultimately is a filter for Van Halen.
Nice.
Actually, it's a filter for performance. Okay,
Mm.
I just hired a new webmaster yesterday, and she said, "These stripes, what's going on there? Like that's kind of visually distracting. I don't know if I like those." And I was like, "Ma'am, okay, Van Halen." She goes, "Oh yes, I know him." Okay, if you want to get rid of the stripes, get rid of the stripes. Fine, whatever.
Sure.
Why was that important? Yes. Okay. So conscious, subconscious, self-image. When you go to a stage, the conscious mind has to figure it out. Okay. When once those decisions are repeatable, it gets moved to the subconscious. Okay. And the conscious also controls the opinions going to self-image. Okay. This stage looks like fun. I've done this before. It plays to my strengths. Or scary, hate it, not good. Okay. Those imprints form a filter for your subconscious skill. Okay. It's like talking to a pretty girl. Okay.
Hmm.
If you're talking to a girl that's out of your league and you know it and you're worried about a result, you can't form a sentence.
Hmm.
Pretty, right? But
Yes.
if she's in your league and or you're not worried about the results, you can talk to her no problem.
Hmm.
It's the same. It's super easy. It's the same exact thing. Okay. Shooting well is like talking to pretty girls. Okay. So the occupation, oh, and so now the conscious mind's done. Doesn't have anything to do. It is done. But
Hmm.
he gets bored. He likes to make decisions. He likes to analyze things. He likes to say things. He's not necessary. So for 20 seconds, he's not needed.
Hmm.
Okay. But you got to give him something to do. You can't turn him off.
Yeah.
You've got to give him something to do. So it's an occupation for the conscious mind. Now, 99.9% of the time, the biggest problem somebody's going to have is firing the gun on a poor sight picture. Would you agree with
Mm.
that?
Yeah. Finally get on the poor side picture. Yeah.
That's going to be the problem 99% of the time.
Mm.
Okay.
Something's rushed or something's just not aligning as you're drawing or moving.
Right. So go find another sport where they fire the gun on a poor sight picture. God, the PRS guys think that's hilarious, right?
Yeah.
The PRS guys go, well, hang on. What's the bullet drop? Oh, there's not bullet drop. Oh, okay. What are the wind conditions? Not relevant. Huh. So what's the problem exactly?
Right. Yes.
Oh, how far away is the target? Oh, 24 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're shooting, and how big is the A zone? Oh, it's about 8.5 by 11. It's big.
Yeah. Yeah. Massive.
And you guys are having a hard time with this? Oh yeah, well the dot wasn't in the the dot wasn't well, you didn't put the dot where you wanted the bullet to go. Do I not understand how this works? You know, it's
Mhm.
crazy. But because of that, I choose the vision as the singular point of focus.
Mm.
And I call it writing a rule. Okay. We're going to write a rule. It's only one rule that says the gun goes off when the sight picture is acceptable.
Hmm.
And however you want to word that in your mind is totally up to you. Now, in your case, you're choosing a pleasant memory, and that tells me that stage plan, sight picture, trigger control are all subconscious and reliable.
Mm.
Okay. When all three of those are subconsciously reliable, you can think about whatever you want.
Mm.
That's not related to a subconscious skill.
Okay.
Okay. I recommend that it be the same every time. It
Hmm.
doesn't have to be. Okay.
Okay.
You've only shot 12 matches, so you haven't experienced this. But people listening, most people I know have shot a good match hungover.
Hmm.
Occupation for the conscious mind. Most people I know have shot a stage or a match well when they were angry. Occupation for the
Hmm.
conscious mind. Most people I know have shot a stage when they had to go to the bathroom really bad. Occupation for the conscious mind.
Oh,
The
wow.
problem is they don't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not possible to get the right amount of hungover, the right amount of angry, and the right amount of having to go to the bathroom.
Hmm.
And they don't know why it's working.
Yeah.
My roommate, for example, is going through a thing where he has been choosing a different occupation for every match.
Hmm.
And it was very confusing to him because one match he does really well thinking about trigger. Awesome. And
Hmm.
then he goes, well, maybe it's sight. Next match, he goes thinking about sight, and that goes well. And he can't decide if it's sight or trigger.
Mm.
The reality is it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Okay. But I think when it's the same, it's more reliable and it's more trustable.
Okay.
Okay. I don't want you to get into a high pressure situation. And I'm not saying this will happen, but conceivably you could get into an unexpectedly high pressure situation and that your pleasant memory may not occupy your conscious mind.
Yeah.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you to prepare for that.
Hmm.
Maybe writing in your journal, my memory is always the solution.
Hmm.
So that if you do begin to doubt your blueberry muffin, you've programmed a response that says my memory is always my solution.
Yeah. Well, so one of the mental cues I give myself is staying positive, neutral. So if I'm slightly positive, I'm not extremely positive, I'm not extremely excited about the stage, but I have a general positive demeanor about my mental state. And then neutral being, that subconscious, occupation of thinking of something else. I'm thinking about the beach, but I'm slightly pleasant and I'm going into it. And right, wrong, or indifferent, that concept really is helped as I'm prepping for a stage. I'm thinking of that beautiful, beach memory and my subconscious stage plan. I mean, I know exactly every step of where I'm going to go. And I'm saying relatively positive and neutral versus uh, mentally busy and nervous or negative.
I understand that completely. Pressure, pressure can and will arrive or intensify unexpectedly.
Mm.
Okay. Let's say that you are at a major match and you're immersed in your beach memory, and JJ Rakaza shows up wanting to shoot through, and he's right behind you. He's watching you shoot. You've never contemplated, and he's in a hurry, and he's kind of irritated at you for walking the stage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He would never do any of those things. But I'm just
Yeah,
just let's
sure.
just
Hypothetically, since
what
we're
if?
since we're rocking a Beretta today, you know
You're
what I
right.
mean?
It's the honorary JJ Rakata Beretta program. Okay. This podcast brought to you by the imaginary JJ Rakaza and a fake Beretta.
That's right.
Which only to tell you, the Beretta is inferior to the Walther in every way. Now, where were we? So, okay, so you're getting ready to shoot. You're doing your final walkthrough, and JJ's like, "Come on, man, I gotta go. I'm in a hurry."
Hmm.
Okay, the pressure is going to be massive.
Yes.
Okay, and you weren't ready for that.
Right.
Okay, but the only thing pressure can do is amplify what you're thinking and feeling. If your beach memory is your silver bullet,
Hmm.
I need you to prepare for a time where pressure will make that really difficult.
Okay.
Okay. So I have come to center the dot, call the shot as it's the answer to everything I'm ever worried about. Okay. When I came out of retirement to shoot a couple steel challenge matches, I was scared to death. I
Hmm.
felt like my entire career was on trial at a local match. And
Mm.
everybody says, "You're doing that to yourself." Well, of course I am, but it doesn't make it not real.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry about it. Oh, why didn't I think of that? I'll just not worry about it.
Right. Yeah, I'm doing
I'm
this by
so
choice,
foolish.
y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was an option. Human beings can't not do things, okay? But human beings can do things. So I chose to put the dot in the middle of the target.
Hmm.
Well, what if you don't win? Can't control that.
Yeah.
What if you get beat by a Kentucky farmer in mud boots? Can't control that.
Right.
But I can put the dot in the middle of the target. So it
Mm.
became my salvation. Okay.
Nice.
Your beach scene may or may not do that to you, but if you're going to stay with that, and I'm not saying you shouldn't. If you're
Okay.
going to, we need to start right now. Programming that is all you ever need.
Okay.
And we need to name it. Okay. My beach memory is always my solution. Something along those lines, and that needs to go in your journal every time.
Nice. And what that does, just so people know the feeling you feel, at least the feeling that I feel, is you have all this busyness, this mental busyness that is just bombarding your subconscious stage plan. And so, but when I say, hey, beach plan, beach plan, beach plan, and I go like, remember that time, it literally takes all that stress that's on me and it just washes it down. It just
Perfect.
takes it all away.
I
And
love it.
so that for me, I feel like that's the goal of this concept.
You're occupying your conscious mind. Okay. You're putting a leash on your pit bull. Okay. The conscious mind is like a pit bull, or actually a Belgian Malinois is a better example. Nothing that dog can't do. Okay.
Hmm.
But if you leave it unattended, it's going to destroy your home.
Yeah.
Okay. If you give it a job to do, it's fine. But
Hmm.
if you leave it unattended, it's going to wreck your entire universe. That's the conscious mind. Okay. You've got to give it something to do. And I think I've said this on the podcast several times now. I'm ready to go on record and say that properly immersing yourself in shot calling is thinking about nothing.
Nice.
So if thinking about nothing is the goal, the only way that I have found to think about nothing reliably is to surrender to calling every shot, because that is observing and or knowing, and it's not thinking.
Mm.
Now, and I don't know if that's available. That would be a good test for you.
Okay.
Next time you go out in live fire, do some shot calling and see if it can reproduce the feeling of thinking about nothing. And just to button up the conscious mind thing real quick, the reason I like it to be about vision is because vision is the problem and the solution 99% of the time.
Okay.
And To me, visual patience has become a vague idea without an executable task. And I
Mm,
think for some people, that idea slows them down
okay.
because I don't need to be patient. I just need to put the dot in the middle of the target. And
Yeah.
there is no limit. I think visual patience might be easier to understand in iron sights because there's only three people left shooting iron sights. But when I would try to switch back and forth, I struggled very much
Mm,
with iron sights because number one, I didn't really want to be doing it. So I've already got a negative imprint.
yeah.
Number two, I would shoot the fiber like it was a dot.
Hmm.
So I had to use a green fiber. I couldn't use a red. Okay.
Hmm.
And then I decided to see what I need to see. Okay. When I told myself to see what I need to see, it solved everything
Nice.
because what I need to shoot, something at arm's length is very different than what I need to hit a ping pong ball at 25 yards.
Hmm.
And I don't need to label it. I don't need to say, oh, front sight, because I told myself front sight for a while, but you don't need a crystal clear front sight for every shot.
Hmm.
Okay. And after your eyes change, you don't need a crystal clear front sight for any shot. And that's kind of controversial, but we could talk about that later. Well, we could do an iron sight show for three people at some point. But
Yeah.
when I tell myself to see what I need to see, it does two things. It occupies my conscious mind, and it writes this rule that the gun can only fire on an acceptable sight picture.
Hmm.
And man, you combine that with a subconscious stage plan, you're just off to the races. Okay.
Nice.
Did we touch on, let's see, subconscious stage plan, self-image as a filter for skill? Um, did we already talk about goals and deadlines on the last program?
Goals and deadlines. I don't think we did. No.
Okay. So as you get closer to master class, you may or may not start thinking about when it's going to happen, and you may be tempted to put a deadline on it.
Mm.
A deadline is only useful if you can exponentially increase your training.
Uh,
Now, if somebody can exponentially increase their training, I'm all for a goal and a deadline. But if you can't, it's going to cause overtrying at the competition.
well, and I'm learning too that over because I mean, as we've identified, I'm literally flying through this entire concept. I'm very dedicated, so there's a lot of time and energy into progressing. And so what I have found in just that example from Saturday to Wednesday's match, that mental break, I wasn't overtraining physically, but I was maybe overtraining mentally.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I have not studied the idea of a break very much because I have an addictive personality.
Hmm.
Um, I know this about myself. The science behind it is this is one of the things that Kita and I argue about. Okay. She says that the amount of skill that can go from the conscious to the subconscious is physically limited by a muscle or an organ.
Mm.
And that more than, let's put a number on it. Let's say 100 neurons.
Hmm.
Okay. And I don't even know if that's the right, but we have to put a number on it. So if you're creating more than 100 neurons, they're going to spill out of the funnel.
Mm.
And she thinks those are wasted reps. Okay. So I say, what is the number? She goes, I don't really know. And it might be different for different skills. Okay. And that's valid. Okay. If I'm modifying my draw, that's going to create less neurons to go through the spaghetti. If
Hmm.
I'm changing from a snatch draw to a scoop draw, that's going to make more. Okay.
Hmm.
But her theory behind a break is you build up, we're going to call them neurons because we already have. Okay. We build up these neurons in this funnel, and it takes some time for them to go through.
Mm.
And that's why a break is good because there's only so much info. I just think of, BBs going through spaghetti, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It takes time for those BBs to go through that spaghetti. Okay. I understand that. I don't disagree with that because she researches everything and she blinds me with science all the time. But
Yeah.
I don't want to risk underdoing the reps.
Hmm.
So I say, is there a downside to doing more reps? She goes, not really, unless you're risking injury.
Oh, okay.
And at my age, I'm beginning to risk injury. In
Yeah.
my 30s, risk of injury was very low.
Yeah.
Okay? You're in your early 40s, your risk of injury is moderate. Somebody in their 20s has virtually no risk of injury.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, but that's the reason for the break. My perspective, so getting back into my lane, the only thing that I'm concerned about is your self-image.
Okay.
Because when you understand that self-image is a filter for skill, okay, aren't you better at your favorite kinds of video jobs? I'm sure you
Oh,
have a kind you like
100%.
and a kind you don't like. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You have so much more energy.
You're looking forward to it. You're like, this is going to be the greatest ever. But somebody wants something really boring. You're like, I don't really like to do these, but they pay the bills. Not that your work is less,
Sure.
right? But it's for sure less inspired.
Yes.
Okay. And so this is the power of the self-image. It's not ego. We're not, well, in your case, you're not saying I'm the most important person in my town. You're
Right.
saying I produce the best videos of anybody in my zip code,
Hmm.
right? And what is
Yeah.
the name of your video company, by the way?
Public resource.
And what do you do and where are you?
In Huntsville, Alabama, and what we do is we produce communication efforts for anyone from nonprofits to nationally recognized just companies that need better communication efforts internally and externally.
So if we were going to cast Jim Palmer in a Talladega Days parody, could you do that?
Oh, 100%.
And could you put some speed on it?
Oh, I put all the speed on
I could put some speed
it.
on it. Okay, and we didn't talk about your social platforms
Yeah.
or mine. Obviously, Anderson Shooting on YouTube. I just unlocked 1,209 podcasts.
Nice.
I had them behind a paywall for a while. It wasn't working out very well, and I wanted to make it available for my insiders. Uh, oh, by the way, Anderson Insiders, I need you to let me know, and I'll just ask you.
Sure.
So the Anderson Insider program is 15 bucks a month. Okay.
Okay.
It used to include a 30-minute phone call
Hmm.
as part of that. And then you get to work on audiobook. You get a book called How To Now, which is 18 to 20 single day solutions for technical problems. So you could
Nice.
go through How To Now and go, oh, I want a sub-second draw. What's one page of how to go to their end to get that today?
Nice.
Sub-second reload, get that today. Okay.
Hmm.
So, but I kind of got away from the phone calls for two reasons. Number one, it was a scheduling nightmare.
Sure.
Okay. The guy says Thursday at 4. I know I'm traveling. I can do one. And then it's just back and forth. It takes longer than 30 minutes to arrange the call. Okay.
Hmm.
I think I've got that one solved.
Okay.
And then the other thing I tried to do was have monthly or bi-weekly meetings where we could all kind of hang out together.
Hmm.
Okay. So my question to you is, would you rather pay a little more for a 30-minute phone call or pay a little less and get a free Zoom meeting every couple of weeks or once a month?
I would say, I think a Zoom meeting would be beneficial, but I think it really just depends on how people learn. If they learn, I mean, a Zoom meeting would be like a phone call, but face to face. So, but if someone's time restraints wouldn't allow Zoom, but they would allow a phone call, it just depends on people's flexibility, I would say. Is
Okay.
the value there? 100%. It's not about the value. I would just say how quick can people absorb that information in that type of style?
BBs and spaghetti.
Yeah, yeah.
You got out of that in a very corporate jargon manner. Why don't we circle back to that?
Yeah, this
Because
is
and
this
here's
is
here's
what
the
I've
other
been
problem.
doing for a living for so many years.
Here's the other thing. I only get two kinds of phone calls.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, how's it going? It's going great. I've done everything you told me and I'm crushing it. Okay,
Okay.
great. And then the other phone call is, hey, I'm not doing what you told me to do and I'm struggling.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. And
Yeah.
it's not that I mind taking either one of those phone calls, but at a certain point, it becomes, what are we even doing here? You know?
Yeah.
And if we have meetings on a regular basis, I think it creates some accountability because a guy's not going to come to a meeting and say, I haven't been doing anything and I'm mad, you know? Like
Yeah.
the only guy that ever complained about mental management, this guy called me up. He was furious. He goes, I took this mental management class and this is not working. And I'm like, okay, what's your compliance with the flow chart? What flow chart? Okay.
Yeah.
What is your journaling looking like? What are you talking about? Journaling.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about your directive affirmation. What in the world are you even talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
Turns out this guy had been sipping beer during the class
There it is.
and was sort of drunk learning, thinking he could just check off the class, you know. And
Yeah.
I invited him to the next class and we got him on his way. But as you're learning, this stuff works.
Yes. Yes, it
Is
does.
my way the only way? I don't know. All I know is it works.
Yes, it does work.
It's like the intermittent fasters arguing with the 6 meal a day guy, right?
Right. Yeah, right. It's like, okay, does it work for you? Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
it's working for you.
The
Great.
guy's like, you got to eat 6 meals a day. I don't want to. I want to eat once a day with less restrictions. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And what are we even arguing for? Because the best thing about a hobby is you can do whatever you can do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
The
I think
only
I think
thing you
that
the
oh sorry,
only
go ahead.
thing you can't do is complain about not getting better if you're not doing the work.
Well, and I think that's one of the biggest things in this game is that your self-awareness has to be tip top if you want to progress to get to tip top. And
Right.
if you're going to hold pride and I am this and I am that, then your humility is not going to be in place to accept failure so that you can grow from it.
Okay. You might have opened up a can of worms there. Why do I have to have humility to accept failure? Like, why is that a thing I need to do?
Well, for me, and this is all from my perspective, for me, if I'm going into it like, no, I'm better than this, I'm better this, I'm better than this, it's like, okay, well, this is all negative, 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 versus saying, hey, all right, this was an awesome opportunity to learn something that I can train out.
Okay.
That is a positive.
All right. So what we're talking about is words and imprints.
Hmm.
Okay. And I'm so glad this happened. When you say humility and failure,
Mm-hmm.
it makes me think of ego.
Mm.
Ego has nothing to do with self-image. Okay. Self-image is your confidence in your ability as a shooter,
Mm.
individually with all the different skills, and then collectively. Ego is your sense of importance.
Mm.
Okay. So self-image would allow you to help a guy pick up his stuff if his wagon falls over. Okay. Help him
Mm.
change his tire.
Yeah.
Ego would not.
Mm-hmm.
Ego would say, sucks to be you. Have a nice day.
All right.
So when we say humility, it makes me, it causes me concern that we're talking about ego.
Okay.
Okay. Because to me, think about a computer. Okay. There's a line of code that's incorrect, and the computer goes, oh, well, I fixed it. Does that
Mm.
require humility? You know,
Right. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
fix the line of code.
Yeah.
Now, if you're somebody who is not, so that's the other thing. Oh, that's why. I just figured out why. For some reason, Southern men, I've noticed, have a
Hmm.
real hard time separating ego from self-image.
Okay.
I noticed it. Have you met Bill Jackson? He's from your area.
I don't think so. Not yet.
Okay, he might be more. I don't know where he is. He'll send me an email, tell me where he is. First time I met him, we were doing a class together, and he's leaning up against the fence there, like you do. He goes, Mr. Anderson, I'm so glad you're here. I need so much help. My draws are bad. My speed is bad. I'm just not very good. And the old boy next to us, because when you're south, you say the old boy.
The old boy, that's right.
The old boy next to him goes, Steve, what, Mr. Jackson? What he's not telling you is that he is the current senior open national champion.
Wow.
And I was like, Mr. Jackson, is that true? He goes, well, I don't know how I managed to do it, but I got lucky, I guess. I said, okay, what I need you to do every time you want to complain about your shooting, I want you to start with, I am the current national champion.
Mm,
And he goes, well, when you put it like that, it sounds kind of silly. And I'm like, exactly.
mm.
Okay. It's like you guys in the South are like humble bragging almost like you want to beat your buddies, but you want it to be kind of all shucks. You know what I mean? Like what's going on there? What are we even doing
Why are
here?
you identifying it so well?
Well, it's no different than the Asians. And this is
Yeah.
not racial, this is cultural,
Yeah.
you know? And I used to be hesitant to bring it up, but now I just get out of the way to begin with. And I'm like, okay, you
Sure.
appear to be Asian of some kind. I do it in the most benign way I can. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
You appear to have Asian ancestry of some kind, so this is what I've noticed about your culture.
Hmm.
And they always laugh about it, you know.
Sure.
Um, so, but my point is self-image. Again, think of self-image as the resume you'd give to a potential sponsor.
Hmm.
That's your self-image.
Yeah.
Who you are, what do you do? Okay. I tank classifiers. I choke at major matches. I can't even find the dot weak hand only. That's the
Yeah.
guy that goes to the match.
Hmm.
Or I'm doing really well. I'm meeting exceeding my training program. I'm learning a lot. That's the guy that goes to the match. That's
Hmm.
self-image. Those ideas are a filter for subconscious skill. And if
Hmm.
you don't believe me, just look at the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Now, self-image cannot create skill where skill doesn't exist.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm a very confident person. If I go rock climbing today, I'm going to die because I don't know anything about rock
I'm
climbing.
going to die.
Right? I'm
Yeah.
literally going to have to do my will on the way to the mountain because I'm going to die. Like that Netflix show. Do you watch that Netflix show about the guy that climbed that building?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I saw that one.
Man, it couldn't come to find out that is a cakewalk for that guy. Like
Oh,
that's
shit. Yeah.
literally you and I on the jungle gym at a preschool. It's nothing.
Hmm.
But my point is, I am not suggesting self-image can create skill. And I think that's another misconception. Okay.
Hmm.
What I am saying is self-image is a filter for skill.
Hmm.
Can you drive a manual transmission automobile?
Yeah.
Of course you can. You're a Southern gentleman.
Yeah.
The only time I have ever stalled my Mustang is if I worry about my shoes or I try to impress my passenger.
Yeah.
Because now I've taken a subconscious skill and made it conscious.
Hmm.
Well, my brain doesn't know how to get that car into first gear. My
Yeah.
subconscious does. Okay. But if my self-image is worried about it, it chokes off that skill
Hmm.
and doesn't allow it. Because until now, I have to relearn it on the clock. It's just like thinking about your draw, is the same exact thing. Your conscious mind doesn't know how to draw the gun. It
Hmm.
learned how and taught the subconscious and then moved on to something better,
Yeah.
something more interesting. Okay. And then if your self-image isn't, so here's the other neat thing. And maybe you can help me word this better.
Okay.
People shoot their best when they're not worried about the results.
Yes. Yes.
The opposite of that has been hard for me to come up with because I don't want to tell people not to worry about the results.
Hmm.
Is it the same thing as if they're confident in the result? Is that a good opposite?
If their focus is the result, then from if my focus was on the result of a stage, then I wasn't focusing on what I need to do to get that result.
Okay. But people are going to think about results.
Yeah.
So I get them, oh, people, so let's say it this way because I've been using this language. People shoot their best when they pre-accept the results.
Hmm.
And have we talked about that yet?
No, not
Oh,
that
this
yet.
is powerful. Dude, we're shaving another 5 years off of your journey.
Hey, let's go. That's why
Okay.
I'm Benjamin Button right now. That's why I keep getting younger.
The honorary JJ Rakaza, non-JJ Rakaza, not sponsored by a fake Beretta mental game.
Right. That's right.
Saving decades of struggle with or without JJ Rakaza's Beretta. Like, what are we even doing here?
That's
Okay.
right.
Four basic options. Okay. When you're thinking about a competition and you think about the results, you've got four basic options. Okay. Number one, I don't care.
Hmm.
That's how I throw darts. I do not like, I don't even want to be doing it. That's how little I care. Okay. So I do okay and I'm not okay. I think darts is a dumb game. So my self-image is already pre-programmed to not like it. Okay.
Hmm.
But I can do okay. Most people aren't in I don't care and they can't fake it. So don't try to fake it because it won't work.
Hmm.
Okay. The next one is it is what it is. This is really good for people going to their first major match.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, it is what it is. Okay.
Yep.
The third is I'll do well when I follow my process.
Hmm.
This would be very appropriate for you going to your 13th match. Hey, I'm going to do well when I follow my process.
Yeah.
Okay. The last one also can't be faked. I'm going to win or I'm a contender to win.
Mm.
The guy that wins your local match, always the same, right?
Yeah, pretty close to it. Yes.
Okay. He knows before he gets in the car,
Yep.
he's going to win. And don't you also know he's going to
Yeah.
win?
Yes.
Okay. But that can't be faked. Okay.
Hmm.
After you start winning your local match, which will happen in the next 6 months or so, once
Nice.
you're that guy, you'll know it too.
Hmm.
Okay. That's how Christian Seiler feels at nationals.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to win this thing. It can't be faked. That's how
Hmm.
Eric Gaffel feels at the World Shoot. I am going to win this thing again.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, I don't know much about those two shooters' mental games, but I do, and this is not, I'm not saying this is them, but a lot of top shooters are unconscious competent,
Mm,
not subconscious, unconscious. They don't know how they're doing it.
nice.
Now, they're
Okay.
using mental management, but they're using it in their own words. Okay.
Yeah.
You're never going to get away from conscious, subconscious, and self image.
Hmm.
Okay. But Christian Seiler calls it confidence, and that's just self image.
Hmm.
Okay. He trains his butt off, and so does Grafel. Well, that's skill. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, and again, if stage plan, sight picture, and trigger control are subconsciously reliable, does it matter what I think about?
No.
Exactly. It does not matter. And that thing can rotate and can change as long as it fully occupies the conscious mind. So let's look at Eric Grafel for example. And I know for a fact that he sees every stage as a stage he's shot before.
Oh, wow.
You guys been shooting decades.
Yeah.
So you're not going to give him a stage he hasn't seen the elements of.
Hmm.
Okay. So already self-image is happy. I do this all the time.
Hmm.
Okay. It simplifies stage planning for him because he knows how he's going to do it. Oh, yeah. I see this all the time. This is how I do this the same way.
Hmm.
So is it likely he's going to have a good subconscious stage plan?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Is it likely he's going to have good sight pictures?
Yes.
Is it likely he's going to have good trigger control?
100%.
Okay. It doesn't matter what he thinks about.
No.
It does not matter.
Well,
Okay.
and although I'm not Eric Grafel.
Ha ha! Mr.
Aha.
Defector think he is at a gaffer.
I know
Now
that's
we see
really
Eagle. Ha
shocking.
ha ha! Wee wee. Go ahead.
But that same idea happened in this last Wednesday's night match where I go to it, I go, I know I'm going to do really good tonight. I know I'm
Yes.
going to execute very well. I know that everything that I needed to work through mentally, I did from Saturday's match. And
Right.
now I get to execute that seamlessly tonight. And I did. My demeanor was way more light. My function and how I executed was way more precise. There was no butterflies before the beep went off. Stage plan just flowed.
Good. Now, I'm going to save you another year of struggle. Okay.
Mm,
The absence of butterflies cannot be controlled.
mm,
So, and if you try to, you'll think you're off your game. Okay.
okay.
So that's pressure. Okay. Butterflies are pressure. You weren't feeling pressure, and that's fine. But
Yeah.
it's not going to stay that way.
Yeah.
Okay. You would, and you should expect to here any time. And
Yeah. Well, no.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
in a month and a half, I'll be shooting at the GOAT 2 PCSL match down in Florida. That's my first major match is going to be a PCSL match, which I'm really excited about. But I already feel the nerves, and we're a month and a half out.
Right. This is where this is so is your beach memory going to always be your solution?
We're down at the beach, so my thought is I hope, and I've got a month and a half to mentally just solidify that.
This is why I was cautioning you.
Yeah.
Your blueberry muffin will work just as well. Is it Florida you're going to?
Yes.
Okay. Your blueberry muffin will work just as well in Florida as it's working in Alabama,
Nice.
but only if you trust it.
Hmm. Yes.
And you've got to begin trusting it right now
Yes.
because you're going to be feeling some kind of way on stage one.
Oh, yeah, big time.
And you need to have what would it be? It's not a mantra. You need to have let's call it a firewall. Okay. That's the other cool thing about the occupation for the conscious mind is it's for me, it's a firewall against invasive or intrusive thought. What
Mhm.
if, what if, what if? Send the dot, call the shot. What if, what if, what if? Because all these what ifs are out there, man.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I would be a little concerned that a beach memory might not stop those thoughts.
Hmm.
Because I know in my mind, it would turn to screw your beach memory. We've got a real problem here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas center the dot, call the shot, I have learned to trust and it stops those invasive thoughts. Okay.
Hmm.
So I'm so glad this came up. So you've got some time to experiment.
Yes.
As you're feeling nerves and butterflies about your first major match, see
Hmm.
if the beach scene solves it.
Yes.
Okay. And the other thing you can do when you're feeling like that is go back in your journal and read what you wrote about your best performances.
I love that.
And that does two things. That gives you a step-by-step recipe, and it also reminds you that you're that guy.
Yes.
You mentioned earlier an environment in which you felt superhuman.
Yep.
So that needs to be a replicable environment. Like we
Okay.
need to have steps to turn you into a superhuman, okay?
hmm
That are reliable. Like I step into the phone booth, right?
hmm
I take off my suit. It reveals my Superman outfit. Boom.
Yes.
We got to know what those steps are. Okay.
Okay.
All right. How long we've been going? Are we at the 90-minute mark
We're
yet?
at yeah, we're at an hour and a half, I think.
That's probably a pretty good place to call it with if it gets much longer. I do want to remind people you can get a free class with me. All we have to do is find a range and pick a date. That's super, super easy. I'll handle everything else. We'll have online mental management coming for March very soon. I'll probably get that scheduled today. Oh, I want to tell you, are you available 6 p.m. for the next two Tuesdays? The next two Tuesdays?
The next two Tuesday, that's a great question. I don't know.
We can talk about it offline,
Okay.
but I'll have mental management. So, what do you think is the best time slot for mental management that most people could get into?
So I would say,
So 6 p.m. Eastern is my go-to, but I
okay.
feel like that might be too early for the Central Time. Maybe 7 p.m. takes you guys to 6.
Yeah, probably so. Unless you're choosing a day during the weekend that would have more, different times available.
So I've done marathons that are so much fun, but number one, people don't want to give up a weekend day.
Sure.
And if somebody is not super highly motivated, their eyeballs glaze over. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so let me know via email, steve@andersonshooting.com, where you want to do a class, and let me know what days and times you want to see mental management in March. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
And tell them your social medias. We never did do that.
Yeah, no. So it's at Pit Factor, which is this, just all one word, Pit, because my last name's Pittman instead of Hit Factor. So that's the concept. And you can do
Super
it on
classy.
Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
So do they type in JJ Racaza fake Beretta as part of that, or is it just at Hit Factor without the fake Beretta?
Yeah, just say we interviewed JJ Racaza, but then put my face on top of his body, and I'll be super pumped with that physique. Let's do that.
And one more commercial for refinement repetition. Let me get on the screen there. Close enough. Okay. Steve Anderson's book, Refinement Repetition, will make you a grandmaster if you. Oh, the catchy catchphrase. Do you remember it?
Ah, dang it, I don't.
Get to work. Okay.
Get to work. That's right.
Until we meet again on the range, on the Zoom, on the Pit Factor, or anywhere else, be like me. Do what I do. Say it with me. One, two, three. Get
Get to
to work.
work.